Hey, welcome to this week's edition of Library Picker. Now, we've done this one up special for you for LitFest, and your English teachers have asked me to cover several things. Let me go through them with you right now so you know what to expect, because this week's episode is ridiculously long. Here's what they've asked me to cover with you. They'd like me to take you on a few bookstore visits around the St. Louis area. They'd also like me to take you on a visit to the St. Louis County Library so you see how to use their resources and how to get a library card. And last, they'd like me to give you some examples of literature in pop culture. Now, there are a few blanks here that I'm just going to fill in with some of my own stuff. If you're in upper school, why don't we just take some stuff from the class of 2012's past and show that, and we'll do the same thing for the class of 2013. Sorry, freshmen. If you're in middle school, that's not going to be of much interest to you, so we're going to do something called Stop Motion Mania. And for the second interlude, the second break, how about, this probably isn't a good idea, but why not just throw a tech deck montage in there? Sounds good to me. All right, so let's get started. As you know, sometimes in Library Picker we take you off campus, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take you to some small independent bookstores in the St. Louis area. And if you don't know what an independent bookstore is, it's just a small, locally owned business that operates within a particular community. And usually they have some really cool programming, great events, and they bring in like the best authors. Now, and I know some of you are not really readers, and that's okay, but these bookstores are all in really great classic St. Louis neighborhoods that if you haven't visited, you really need to at some point. We're going to head through the Delmar Loop and visit Subterranean Books. We're going to go into the Central West End right here, and we're going to visit Left Bank Books. Then we're going to jump on the highway and head into Webster Groves, where we will visit Pudd'nhead Booksellers and the Webster Groves Bookshop before swinging back to campus. Now, Ms. Leonard and 7th grader Samantha Mishkin visited Subterranean Books in the Delmar Loop, and the Delmar Loop is great. You're going to pass places like Fitz's Root Beer and Blueberry Hill and Vintage Vinyl. There's so much great shopping and entertainment and restaurants in this area that you really need a map to know what's going on. So they're pointing us to Subterranean Books here, and they're going to spin around, and it's the building with the red awning across the street there. So there used to be a ton of independent bookstores in the Delmar Loop, but they've all closed their doors except for Subterranean Books. It's a great general interest bookstore, which means there's really something for everyone. They've got everything from like middle grade reader books for middle school and high school to adult books and poetry books and professional books to one of the best selection of children's books. All right. So after this one, we are going to head towards the city of St. Louis and Left Bank Books. Let me see if I can find the right video for that one. Here it is. I love this building. It's architecture is really cool. It's got some great history to it. Let's head inside and see what it looks like. If you're wondering where we're at on the video above me, we're not quite there. But take a look at this bookstore. Independent bookstores have some really great, unique shelving setups. They usually have some really great service, and they've got some books that you might not find elsewhere. Left Bank Books has a really great selection. They were really, really nice and accommodating when I was shooting this video. They've got a great young adult section. They highlight a lot of books, a great children's book section. And let me listen around. If you're wondering, I decided I had to buy a few things from these bookstores, and if you're wondering what I bought from Left Bank Books, this is what I bought for my 1-year-old son. And for our library, these are the books I bought. The book on the left, Lost and Found. Sean Tan is an incredible author. If you've read The Arrival, it's a great one. Or if you watch the Oscars, you might be interested in this one. It's in our short story collection in the middle school library. While we're on the highway here, I'm going to point out something. This is one of my favorite bookstores in the entire U.S. I think probably some of you have been to it. It's called Sundog Books. It's in Seaside, Florida. It's really, really great. They've got a dog. It's right by the ocean. Right? And they're partnered with a record store called Central Square Records. Great shop. Let's see if I can find the Pudd'nhead Books video. Here it is right here. And we're still on our way right above me towards Webster, but let me start this video. Pudd'nhead Books has some great events, and they bring in really, really great authors. So come on inside. It's a little bit smaller than Left Bank Books, but it's just as good. Take a look around. Independent bookstores have this kind of comfy, cozy kind of feel. That's kind of what I like. You see tables strewn everywhere, comfortable seating. This is another general interest bookstore. They've got everything from adult to young adult is straight ahead. We bought a few books here. They've got some children's books. Let me show you what we bought at this bookstore. Where do I have it? Nope, not there. Here it is. Pudd'nhead Books. These are the 4 books we bought there. Look good. Signed copy of The Wilder Life. Looks good. And the next book the next bookstore we're gonna see is also in Webster. It's called Webster Grove Books. Here's the video from when I visited. Now this is one of my favorites. We're just passing it above me now, and this is a teeny tiny bookstore, but it's been around for a very long time. And if we head inside, look at the setup in here. It's cozy. It's got a lot of books. But the decorations are really cool too. Look at the walls. Look at the kind of the orbs that are hanging from the ceiling. That's their lighting system. It's really great. They've got an incredible selection. Great adult books. They've got a great Civil War collection that's at the front of the store right now. And if you head towards the back, you're going to see their young adult selection and their children's section too. What did we buy here? Let's see. We bought, this is what we bought here. I'll let you figure out which is for my son on the left and which is for the middle school library on the right. If you haven't seen the book Wicked Bugs or Wicked Plants, you need to check them out because they're really great investigations into the natural world. So right now we're just heading back to campus right above me, and looks like we'll be there soon. We're on Price Road. Side note, I'm not driving this fast. We've sped this video up about 800%. And no, I'm not holding the camera. It's strapped to a tripod. There we go. Middle school. Alright, back in the library. One last thing you need to know about these bookstores is that we only visited a few of the bookstores in the St. Louis area. There's tons more. What we're going to try to do is create a map that'll give you addresses and maybe websites, and I think we'll post that on both the middle and the upper school library web pages, probably on the right-hand sidebar somewhere, and I think both libraries will probably tweet a link to that resource as well. Interlude. Good times. All right, let's head to another of Ms. Leonard's videos. She went to the St. Louis County Library. Let's hear what she had to shoot.
Hello there, my name is Desiree Schumann. I work at the St. Louis County Library. I just want to let you guys know how you can get a St. Louis County Library card. All you have to do is have a form of ID with your current address. Kids can just come in with their parents and have their parents fill out their forms for them. How many branches do you think are in the St. Louis County Library? 5? 10? The answer is 20.
Desiree, we have 2 copies of Hunger Games in the middle school library at MICDS. How many do you have here?
The St. Louis County Library, all 20 branches, if you count them all together, we have 71 hardbacks, 50 paperbacks, 24 large print, 20 audiobooks, and we can also get them through the e-media. That ends up being over 160 copies of Hunger Games. The St. Louis County Library has not only books, but we have authors come in to share with us. We've had Rick Riordan, who wrote the Percy Jackson series, Lori Halse Anderson, who wrote Speak. Coming up soon, we'll be having Gary D. Schmidt, who wrote Wednesday Wars, and Lizzie Bright and the Buckminster Boy. We'll also be having Meg Cabot, Ridley Pearson, all kinds of authors. Just check out our website. Now, it's not all just about books here in the library. If you have an e-reader, you can get books through Overdrive. And we have so many devices that are compatible with our books. Your Nook, your Kobo. The only device that is not usually a compatible device is the Amazon Kindle. Sorry, guys.
Update. So at the time this was shot, that was completely true. But both libraries, middle and upper school, on Twitter, we follow Publishers Weekly. And Publishers Weekly broke the news just a few days ago that Kindle was going to join this Overdrive program. So if you have a Kindle, you are going to be able to rent books from public libraries. Just not going to happen right now, but it will happen sometime in the very near future. So that's how to use library resources and get a library card. Let's have another interlude. So now we're at the last part of this video where we're going to show you examples of literature in pop culture. And I'm going to use the term pop culture pretty loosely because we're basically just going to show you some Simpsons episodes. Your English teachers have identified a few Simpsons episodes that have literary merit, which means they were based on important works of literature. The first one we're going to take a look at is based on the works of Mark Twain. Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, two boys growing up on the banks of the Mississippi River in Missouri, or Missouri. All right, let's check out another one. This one's based on Lord of the Flies. Some of you are familiar with this story. It's basically a group of kids who are on a school trip. They're in a crash, and they end up on a deserted island. They have to form their own society without adults. Let's see what happens. So as you can see, these Simpsons episodes reflect a really good understanding of the actual literature. Your English teachers wanted me to highlight a few more episodes. We just didn't have time, but there's episodes based on all kinds of stories. The Crucible is Easy Bake Coven. You've got episodes based on Moby Dick. You've got Puritanism, Transcendentalism. You've got stuff based on Edgar Allan Poe and Monkey's Paw and the Odyssey and Hamlet and Old Man and the Sea and Clockwork Orange. All kinds of stuff. And that's all I've got for you this week. Next week we'll return with a much shorter, normal-size library picker episode, about 1/5 of the length of this one. Have a great weekend and enjoy your field day, maybe, depending on the weather.